Hello and welcome to another edition of the program Total Woman on AD4 TV Radio. My name is Mute Olori. There is a practice that involves an oriented system of unarmed combat using the hands and the feet to deliver and block blows, widely practiced as a sport, and this is known as karate. The benefits of martial arts, especially karate, as an educational system cannot be overemphasized. For everyone, especially for kids. Karate benefits kids at every aspect of their lives: physical, mental, spiritual, and emotional. So, helping to develop balance, coordination, focus, respect, discipline, and also self-defense is a well-known feature of this practice. And the right of self-defense as a legal jurisdiction for the use of force in times of danger is also available in many of this. So today on the show, we will be talking on karate as a means of body exercise and self-defense mechanism. My guest is a psychologist, a lover of karate. She understands and speaks Chinese. And so many more about my guest today, a young lady, Moyo Shoreoluwa Akinola. You're welcome on the show today.
Thank you so much. Nice to be here.
Yes, thank you. Nice having you. Okay, I was intrigued, knowing that you're a karateka. Karateka, that's what it's called.
Yes, karateka.
Okay, so what does that mean, karateka?
Okay, so as you mentioned, beautiful introduction by the way. Karate is a martial art where you practice self-defense amongst other things. It helps with mental discipline, physical fitness, discipline, and a lot of other things. So as a karateka, it means that you practice the art of karate. It's a martial art. So I've been doing karate since I was 4, so for about 16 years now, quite a lot. I just put a number to myself, but I've been doing karate for a very long time. Yes.
So why first of all the interest? Why go to karate? 16 years.
Yes.
Babe, nobody should play with you. So, but meanwhile, why did you pick up the interests as a child to want to go into karate?
Okay.
Because there are other sports.
Yes, definitely. So my interest in karate came from proximity. So my dad actually ran a karate dojo. A dojo is a class. So my dad ran a karate dojo and he'd go off every Tuesday and Saturday. I remember the exact days. And I'd be wondering, where is he going to? Where is he going to? So one day I just wanted to go with him. And he was like, okay, sure. So that's how I started with karate. So before I started with the actual martial arts, I was doing like some stretches with him, just basic stuff. But I remember I was about 4 or 5 when I went for my first karate class.
Yeah, but you could have lost interest along the line.
True.
But 16 years, you're still on. What's exciting? What's intriguing? Why did you stay on?
Okay, so karate is actually really fun. It starts off really difficult because there's a lot you have to learn. You have to learn, like, you want me to name things?
Yeah, yes.
So they're like, you have to learn kihon, you have to learn kata, you have to learn kumite, and there are different types of kumite. There's a lot of work, but the classes themselves, if you have a really good instructor, if you have like really good people you're training with, it's a lot of fun to do. So while I started off with like, oh, my dad is going, me too, I want to go, it now became a thing that I wanted to do. And then at some point in time when I was younger, I started to compete. And I enjoyed competition. I enjoyed going out and demonstrating my prowess as a karateka. So that kept me.
So I'm sure you won prizes along.
I won a couple of medals along the way. I don't compete anymore. But yes, I did win a couple of medals along the way.
So what are the benefits? Apart from, for me, if I want to go into karate, I probably would say for the fun of it, or probably, but for any other reasons, but not to compete or to get to this level for 16 years, I'm still stuck in. So what are the benefits? What would make anyone want to stay on for that long, what are the benefits of karate?
Okay, so they're both physical and mental benefits. So some of the physical benefits includes obviously physical fitness. You gain muscle, you gain balance, as you mentioned earlier. But some of the mental, I find myself stuck, as you said, stuck in karate for the mental benefits. It helps you with discipline, it helps you with focus, it helps you with, you know, it's just a very grounding thing to do. So that's why I found myself staying in karate, for the mental benefits.
Okay, we have situations where people also see it as a means of self-defense.
Yes, definitely. Yes. So karate, it can be used. It is a self-defense martial art. So you're taught different ways to block, different ways to counter. If somebody attacks you from the front, which ways can you step to block, to counter? So karate does teach that, but that's just one of the many aspects of karate.
Now you said something about, I'll come to this other aspects of karate,
okay,
for us to explain it. But while you were mentioning the different types, you used some names. Was it, you called some, is it Julie or something?
Yes.
These different stages. Can you explain a little bit in English? Because that language sounds Chinese or karate language.
It's Japanese.
Oh, it's Japanese.
Yes, karate is a Japanese martial art.
Okay, now break it down.
Okay.
Let's go. Let's take it again. I've heard things like, is there a difference? Because when I say karate,
yes,
my mind goes to Chinese, you know, so are they different types? And now you're saying karate is Japanese.
Yes, so karate originated from Japan, so it's a Japanese martial art. There are other like martial arts, like Tai Chi is Chinese. So it's a matter of, and the language that you use in karate, you use Japanese. The language you use in Tai Chi, I don't think there's also speaking Tai Chi. I'm not a pro in Tai Chi, but that's Chinese. So the origins are different, even though they're all Asian martial arts and they're all teaching some form of self-defense, have their own physical and mental benefits. Karate is a Japanese martial art.
Okay, let's look at what kind of language you speak. So now you talked about the beginning.
Yes.
So there are only two anyway, let's be sure, so that I don't, before
martial
I go further.
Arts?
Yes.
No, there are a lot of martial arts. There's some I don't even know the names of.
Okay.
There's Kung Fu is also a martial art. Tai Chi, as I mentioned, karate, taekwondo, judo, those are all martial arts. Okay. There's so many, so many.
Okay, so the ones you mentioned about different steps as a beginner,
yes,
can you break it down? What and what, you know, when you're starting, what and what does it entail, okay, before you now move on to the next stage? Okay,
so in karate, everybody does all of these steps, so it's not a matter of stages. So even if you're at beginner level or you're at the highest level, you still do the Kihon, Kata, and the Kumite. So I'm going to start with Kumite because it's the easiest to explain. So Kumite is basically structured fighting. So what happens is that there are two types of Kumite as well. So there's free sparring. So sparring is kind of like it's fighting and it's not structured, but it's controlled. So you have somebody there to make sure you obviously are not brawling with the person, and it's like a certain way you spar. So you stay in a particular stance, you throw your punches, throw your kicks, that's all up to you, but it's also controlled so that you don't hurt the other person. Because karate is a self-defense. You're not meant to be learning karate to become the aggressor. You're learning karate to know how to defend yourself. So the beauty of free sparring is that you have somebody attacking you that they actually want to hit you, but they never hit you. So you feel the pressure of being in an actual fight, but you have the safety of knowing that, okay, like this person is probably not going to hit me. There's sometimes somebody throws a punch and doesn't judge their strength well and they hit you in the face. It happens, but very rare. So that's free sparring. There's another type of kumite where it's more structured. You kind of have, I don't want to say a script, but you have a kind of script that you play out. So somebody attacks you with one punch, you have a certain steps that you do to block. So all of these are just trying to train muscle memory, you know? So somebody comes to you with a punch, you step to the side, you block, and you counter with another punch, stuff like that. Then you have kata. Kata is also very structured, very controlled. It's also another set of steps you perform. So different belts. So in karate, you have different levels. You have white, yellow, orange, all the way up to black. So different
So when
belts.
somebody has a black belt, that's the master.
Yes. But that, even when you get to black belt, there's black 1, black 2, black 3, black. There's so many black belts inside that black belt. So even after you get to black belt, you're not done. You still have so much more you can do. So different belts have different katas that are set for them for you to be able to grade. So that's what they call like the graduation to the next belt. It's called a grading. So you have to perform that kata, and in order for you to grade to the next belt. And when you get to the next belt, there's a new kata for you to learn. And you get to the next belt, there's a new one. And then you have Kihon. Kihon is similar. There's also a set of structured steps, series of stepping forwards, moving backwards. Each belt has its own separate Kihon that you have to perform in order to graduate or grade to the next belt.
Oh. So you saying it looks so sweet because I keep seeing you do this. And so I have to learn, because as a woman, we've had a lot of issues about violence against women, sexual violence, physical violence, and all forms of violence. And I think it is a skill that women should begin to practice now, more of not growing the muscles or having the mental health, but more like self-defense. Yes. Okay, so what kind of situation or threat will I find myself as a woman that I will need the self-defense of karate?
Okay, so the situations where, if you're being grabbed from the back or grabbed from the front, there's some moves you can do that you are taught in karate. Maybe not directly as a way that, if somebody holds you from the back, you hit them, but the moves that you learn, because you've been practicing them for so long, you realize when you can use them in the situation, like the situations where you can use them. So if you're grabbed from the back, if you're grabbed from the front, if somebody is, trying to grab your bag, there are ways that you can defend yourself. You at least know. One of the first things you learn in karate is how to form a fist.
Okay.
That is actually a very, very basic skill everyone should know how to do, but some people don't know how to do. Yes, and you put your thumbs at the...
Oh.
No, not up here.
Okay.
Over.
Okay, over.
Yes.
Yeah.
So that's how you form a solid fist. I can't really do it now because of my nails. And if you're in a situation where your nails are also done, the side of your hand also works very well. It's very compact, especially when you have all... Especially if you have all your fingers tight together, it's also very compact, very strong. So the side of your hand and your fist, once you are able to do those things, it just seems easier. You're a bit more confident in yourself that, okay, at least I know how to, if I need to punch somebody, I can punch somebody without hurting myself. If I need to hit somebody, just knowing that you have the skills sometimes just helps you to calm down a bit. Because if you don't know how to defend yourself, if you know nothing, you'll panic, and you're panicking because you can't get out. But if you're in that kind of situation, you're going to panic anyway because it's a scary situation, terrifying stuff. But you'll be less panicked if you know some self-defense, even if it's not from karate or learning it from another martial art. You'll be a bit less panicked because you know that at least you know a few things that might be able to help you. You know how to throw a solid kick. You know how to throw a solid punch, how to throw 2 punches. So those things will help you calm down a bit, At least you're confident in yourself that you can get out.
Okay, what did I learn? The fact that you know and you have these skills helps you, to be a little bit confident about yourself. Knowing that when you find yourself in threat or any situation that compromises your security and safety, you know what to do. All right, we have a video of her doing some skills. We'll take a short break. Let's look at some of those things, and then when we return, we'll talk more about how women can begin to practice these skills that will help them in case of any threat. Please don't go away. We'll be right back.
There's a wind of change blowing over Nigeria, and it's coming from the Tertiary Education Trust Fund. If you want to find out how TED Fund is bringing the Nigerian government, industry, and the academia together to drive a new knowledge economy, tune in to this station every Wednesday at 8 p.m. for TED Fund, The Paradigm Shift. It's informative, it's innovative, and it's exciting. TED Fund, The Paradigm Shift, proudly produced by 84 TV Radio.
All right, it's still Total Woman on AD4 TV Radio, and today we have been talking about karate, and my guest Moyo has been in this skill, profession, act of karate for 16 years, and she's been sharing with us, the advantages of having this skill. So as a woman, is it possible to be skillful in this, without going really deep in it, but in case there's any threat, especially from men, because those are the issues we're facing right now, how skillful do I need to what extent do I need to go to acquire this skill that I'll be skillful enough to defend myself?
Yes. So the best thing you can do for yourself is just to start. You won't know how far it can go until you start. So coming for your first class, maybe the first class is a bit hard, it's a bit tough. You're learning a new skill. It's always going to be difficult. But once you force yourself into that discipline, because you have to come for that class regularly for you to build the muscle, build the strength, build your arsenal of moves for you to do. So you need to start in order for you to get to a place where you're able to defend yourself comfortably. I would not even say that I'm at that point, in my opinion. But, that's just me personally. You just need to know enough that you feel like you can be safe. So starting is your best bet, but it is possible for you to know enough for you to be able to defend.
So what are the things I do start with when I'm starting?
Okay, so when you start with karate, the first thing that they try to teach you is how to form a fist. We've already covered that. Your first karate class has started. And then the second thing they teach you is how to throw a punch from the side of your body to the center. But how to use less of your upper body and more of your lower body to throw the punch. So punches, sometimes, us women find it hard, like our upper body strength is not as much as some men's upper body strength. So karate actually teaches you how to throw a punch from your hip. So you use your lower body to help you, of course, and your upper body, to help you make your punch stronger.
So when I did this, am I using my upper body?
You're using your upper body.
Oh, okay.
So your punch actually comes, it more or less rubs against your body when you come out, and then you pull it back. And when you get faster, it's much stronger. So that's one of the first things you're taught, how to throw one punch, how to throw two punches, back to back, 3 punches. And then they start to teach you the stances. So because karate helps you with your balance and stability, they teach you different stances. So the beginner stance that they teach you is called Zangsu Dashi. That is a front stance. So you put most of your weight on your front leg, and then you have your back leg having less of the weight. Then the different stances you learn Kibadachi, which is horse stance. So you're balanced on both your legs, you're sitting in the center. You learn different stances in karate. I don't want to give away all the secrets now, so when you come for the classes, you get to see some new things.
Because I'm registering for that class. So you better come so that we'll meet. But how old should I be to learn this skill?
Karate is the kind of sport or the kind of martial arts that you can start at any age. Obviously not at like 2 or 3, but once you're able to stand, walk, once you have a bit of stability as a young child, you can start karate, because all karate is going to do is help you with that stability, help you with your balance, help you with your flexibility. Because when you're younger, you have more bones in your body. So if you're from a young age, you're doing splits and stretches, you're going to stay flexible. But also, if you're older, you can also still start karate. It's never too late, it's never too early to start. You just have to take that first step and start. So older women, older people can also start karate at any age. Anyone can start, as long as you're stable enough that you can move, get willing, and you're able enough to move, to learn new things. You can do karate. You can do any martial art.
So I can actually do?
Yes, definitely.
I won't break my bones?
No, you won't break your bones. I've never broken a bone in my body.
Wow.
So you'll be fine.
All right. So are there places we can learn? Is it online? Is it physical? Which is best?
Okay. I don't know about which is best, because the situation we're in, we're kind of limited to online stuff. But there are different dojos all over Nigeria. If you look hard enough, you'll find them. You'll find groups of people wearing the white gi, that's the name of our uniform, doing karate somewhere. So I personally, I train with Karate Alliance. That's the dojo that my dad runs. So right now we're online, but if you want to reach out, I can give you an email if you want to put it somewhere, and you can reach out and join the classes. But they're all online, virtual. You'll have other people who are training with you virtually, so it won't be like you're alone in your house. It feels like you're within a community training together. But you can also learn via YouTube. So this same Karate Alliance, there's some videos up on our YouTube channel, and you can watch those videos if you want to learn without actually attending the class first. Even though that's not recommended, it's available for you. But there are different places for you to learn. There's some physical places I'm sure that are opening up now that COVID is starting to get a tiny bit better. But there are places around you can train at.
Now, why do you have more male in this profession than women?
I don't really know if I can answer that question. You know, it's just what it is. Because some of the classes I've attended, there you find some classes where there are more women than men, or there are more men than women. So I've attended a couple of classes where the majority were women. So it just depends on where you go to. If you feel safer taking a women's only karate class, I'm sure there are those classes available. But you are right, it does tend to be a mainly male-dominated martial arts. And I actually have never thought about why that might be the case, actually.
So what would you tell any woman watching that to convince her that she really need to have a bit of the skill of martial arts?
I would say that, as I said earlier, the first thing you need to do is start. It might seem very scary trying to learn this new skill at whatever age you're trying to learn it at. But once you start and once you start to build, you'll thank yourself later on that you eventually started. And you know, even though it might seem impossible that, oh, if a big guy tries to grab me, what can I do? You just need to know the small skills. Knowing how to throw a punch might eventually help you, might eventually save you. Knowing how to use the side of your hand and hit somebody might eventually help you. That person you might just accidentally punch that person in a place where they had an injury or where they're sensitive, and then you run away and you're free. So
Okay, you just mentioned something now. So it means if I am practicing this, I can't use it just anyhow, because I could really hurt someone.
Yes, so that is why karate is taught as self-defense primarily. You're not meant to become the aggressor with karate. You're meant to use it to defend yourself. So just because you know how to punch somebody doesn't mean that somebody is annoying you, now go punch them. It doesn't work like that, or it shouldn't work like that. You should only use it when you need to defend yourself, when you need to protect yourself. You're learning this in order for you to, you know, in case of a situation where you're in danger, be able to escape. Not because you want to become the person who puts people in danger.
Okay. All right. So what are your plans, you know, for this beautiful skill that you have? Are you thinking of opening somewhere? Are you thinking of teaching younger people? What plans do you have, you know, especially for girls and women, you know, when it comes to the skill you have already?
Okay, I don't feel like I'm at the level where I feel comfortable enough to teach. So I'm still focusing on learning myself. But eventually, maybe, God willing, I'll see where it goes. I don't want to make any solid plans, but I maybe hope to potentially, maybe do some classes once in a while, especially for young girls. Like when I was young, I found it an invaluable experience. So to help young girls to at least start before they go into a bigger class, that would be something I would like to do.
And we'll be very happy to have you, you know, give those lessons to young girls. So if you have young girls and you're interested, why not? We can work at something. We can convince her and see how, you know, to give us that little advantage of being on AD4 TV Radio, Total Woman.
Thank you.
Thank you. All right, so after learning the health benefit that comes with karate, it's important to also know that with the increasing volume of threat, especially to young girls and women, learning martial arts or karate is not just for balance or for the health alone, but for you to be able to defend yourself and to defend others when the need comes. And like she said, it's not for you to become the threat to society. So as a young girl or a woman, because you know what to do, you allow it to impel your sense of judgment. No, it's for you to defend yourself, and of course to be mentally, spiritually, physically and emotionally balanced. So what are you going to do about this knowledge? Why don't you look for somewhere and register? And if you want to get to our guests, please feel very free to get across to us on all our platforms. All right, so my name is Mute Olori, and I'm rushing off to get some further lessons because I think I need it. Yes, I do. Thank you very much. See you next week. Bye-bye.